Now, Neil the Ass Tyson finally tells some truth. He's going to be talking about the Red Bull jump, which was 24 plus miles in altitude. He has to tell the truth because anyone can send up a balloon with a camera 20 plus miles and see that the horizon of the Earth rises to eye level. It appears to do so because of perspective. And it is a horizontal line, it does not curve. The horizon remains horizontal. So this guy's going to tell you some truth right now. You're not going to like it, and you're going to get headaches trying to figure out how to counter this because you can't process. You've been programmed not to process new information or the truth. This is how we have all been systematically dumbed down, and to refuse anything that goes against their narrative, no matter how true and demonstrable it is.
Two by textbooks, and that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner. He would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump.
Well, 2 millimeters, that's a faulty scale he's using. Okay, they say the ball Earth is 25,000 miles in circumference around the equator of the Earth, the halfway mark that they use to separate the northern hemisphere from the southern hemisphere. Okay, 24 plus miles high. You should be able to see a lot of curvature on a ball 25,000 miles in circumference. Let him continue.
It's fine. He wants to. I don't have a problem if he does it, but the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature.
Let's hear that again.
Surface. That they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space. Look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, so then how do boats and ships disappear over the curvature of the Earth at only 2 or 3 miles out, sailing away from you towards the horizon? How do they disappear? Hull first. Or is it just really perspective, things converging at the vanishing point?
If you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball, you just don't. That stuff is flat.
Let's hear that again.
Wow, he's in space. Sitting there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space. Look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth. If you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball, you just don't. That stuff is flat. You've been lost.
Okay, here it is. That's their official video and a picture taken from that video. 128,000 feet in altitude. They're using a fisheye lens to make the Earth look curved. If there was no fisheye lens, this would all be straight. Just like this red line down here, that would all be horizontal. But they're using a fisheye lens. And this is 24 plus miles in altitude. Okay? According to their math, we should see a lot of curvature, not this fake fisheye lens curvature. They use the camera to deceive you. Okay, if they did that with a regular camera, that horizon of Earth would be horizontal. Just the way this red line at the bottom here is horizontal. Okay, these people are liars, and he has to admit it because he knows no scientist, no man can send a camera up 20 plus miles and show any curvature of the earth. All that curvature that people think they're seeing out of airplane windows at only 7 miles high, you can't see. It's not real curve. You are trained. You have been brainwashed to interpret nonsense as curve. Plus the windows they use, I forgot if they changed it from convex to concave or the other way around, but they did. That's official. You can go to your favorite Wikipedia source and learn that. But you can't see the curvature of the earth at 24 plus thousand miles high. You're not going to see it at 7 miles high unless there's a fisheye lens showing it to you. You see this here, that all that blue on the earth is water. Water can't do that. Water cannot curve on its surface. No scientist or laboratory can show even an inch of water curving on its surface in an open body. In any type of container with an unrestricted surface, the surface of water always seeks and maintains its level. It cannot be perpendicular to any force or occurrence toward the center of the earth because gravity has never been directly detected itself. And that's because it's intangible, it's not real. That's why they call it a phenomenon. I've shown you in other videos that they admit they do not know what gravity is in any fundamental way. We only know how it behaves. And these are the alleged effects and results they shove down our throat. And I got people for maybe the 1,000th time telling me a gravimeter directly detects gravity. No, it does not. It does not directly detect gravity itself per any known means of propagation, current, wave, field, beam, or ray on the earth. A gravimeter only measures the alleged effects or results of gravity, what they say gravity is doing. It does not directly detect gravity itself. If it could, gravity would no longer be a theory. So here you go, Neil the Ass Tyson finally telling some truth. Here it is again. Try to process this.
By textbooks, and that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner. He would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump. Now, you know, I don't. It's fine. He wants to. I don't have a problem if he does it, but the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, "Wow, he's in space. Look at that." No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
Now, I notice he wants to reference 2 millimeters with a beach ball in his hand. He doesn't want to say 24 plus miles, which is what this guy achieved with the Red Bull jump. I'm going to try to pronounce his name, Felix Baumgartner, I believe. But that might not be right. But he wants to employ 2 millimeters. He would never say 24 miles, because maybe some people in the audience with an IQ over 99 might scratch their heads at that. You don't see the curvature of the Earth at 24 miles in altitude above your head looking down? That's ridiculous. We are taught that boats and ships disappear over the horizon down the curvature of the Earth at only 2 or 3 miles. That they disappear hull first. That is a contradiction. Okay, things disappear because they get too dang far away to see. They hit the vanishing point and converge. The sky and the water and the boat and everything in between converges to a vanishing point. The Earth is not a spinning ball 25,000 miles in circumference. Do you see what they are depicting here? This curvature? There's a fish-eyed lens making a straight line like this red one, curved like this blue one. Okay, now let's say this was outer space. Let's say he was past the Kármán line, which they call outer space, 250 miles high. They're telling us that the Earth is covered with these clouds, gaseous atmosphere, and oxygen. And all this black is the infinite and expanding vacuum universe. Okay, people have been dumbed down about vacuums. I got videos that show vacuums suck. Okay, so either way you want to put it, the atmosphere is filling the vacuum, or the vacuum is sucking the atmosphere into the vacuum. It doesn't matter. Boyle's law and gas law states that gas, when not contained, will disperse in every direction. So explain to me how the atmosphere of the Earth is not filling the available volume of outer space that surrounds it. Please don't say gravity, because it's never been directly detected. It's intangible. And even if you did have a force like that, per scale, the Earth would be smaller than a grain of sand within an infinite and expanding vacuum universe. There's no way any force pulling the atmosphere down could contend with an infinite and expanding vacuum universe. It contradicts gas law, Boyle's law, the second law of thermodynamics, entropy. You people, we have all been dumbed down. I thank the Lord I got out of it. I broke free. I don't know what the shape of the Earth is, but I do know what it is not. It is not a giant globe. I prescribe to the Hebrews' ancient conception. My time's over. Thank you.